C-Fan Sports, the sports show that is dedicated to the Seattle sport fan. My name is Dave. This is Kevin, and you are now tuned into Mariner Weekly.
Yes, you are.
Kevin, if they want to be continuing to watch Mariner Weekly, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bells, and if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, or you can give us a thumb down, and make sure you drop comments in the comment section, because if you do, we're going to talk to you, and you'll hear what we have to think about what you're thinking here on C-Fan Sports. Kevin, little known fact about me is I went to the military straight out of high school, Kevin. And as I went into the military straight out of high school, my mom and dad had plans for my bedroom. And as I was walking out the door with bags in hand, heading to go off to serve in our nation's great military, my parents had a plan for the room that I was staying in. They were taking measurements. They said they made me a huge, beautiful goodbye party, and they shipped me off to the military. And did they miss me? Sure.
No.
But there was no at the airport turning around and coming back. I was done. They had plans for that room, Kevin. And unfortunately, or fortunately, on the last game of the season, we packed up all of Kyle Seeger's stuff. We gave him a beautiful ceremony. We sent his son out there. We had him throw the first pitch. But we were already redecorating that spot.
Yes.
The redecorator was in. He was measuring new drapes.
Yeah.
He had new carpet. They put down hardwood floors, and they said, "You know what? Sorry, Kyle Seeger, but thank you. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you."
Right.
And he is off, and he's going to be able to go on and have either success or failure in another situation, but it will not be in Seattle.
No.
So, Kevin, this week's episode of Mariner Weekly, we are going to focus on the infield bats that we feel could impact the Seattle Mariners as far as free agents go for the upcoming 2021 season. Even though they're not done, 2022 season, not 2021.
Right.
They're not done with this season, but as far as we are concerned, here in Seattle Mariner land, we're done. Bow was wrapped on that last season. We're worrying about next season. Kevin, who do you think that Seattle will target in the upcoming free agency for the Major League Baseball season?
Well, before I get into that, I just want to say one thing. We won 90 games this year.
Oh, yeah.
That was the funnest. I mean, yeah, there were some stressful moments. There was too many, oh man, we lost this series. We lost that series. But it was so much fun to watch. I just had such an absolute blast this year. And we talked about them taking care of business, and they had to take care of their own business. And
right.
Unfortunately, they didn't do it. And, it wouldn't have really mattered because Boston never lost anyway. And so, and congratulations to Houston and Boston. I know that we don't really care, but they're moving on to the ALCS. I know I'm not a fan of either one either. So, but let's get back down to what we were talking about. So the top, in my opinion, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. I had to count. I wasn't sure how many players I got written down of free agents that I think that the Seattle should look at very seriously, and who my favorite player would probably be, or maybe my top 2 picks. And then obviously the number one consensus that I think both of us agree on.
Right.
Let's start off with Chris Bryant.
Yes.
He just had an outstanding year. He always has had an outstanding year, just been a solid player. In 2021, he was 3.3 WAR, had a 265 batting average, 25 home runs, and an 835 OPS.
And how old is he, Kevin?
He's 30 years old.
30. Okay. Yep. So he's seasoned.
He's seasoned, yeah.
Okay.
Marcus Simeon, I mean, we've talked about him. This year, he's had a 7.1 WAR, 265 batting average, 45 home runs with an 873 OPS. It's probably been his best year he's ever had. And
I'm pretty sure it's been his, by far.
Yeah. Right? I don't know about by far, but definitely his best year.
Okay.
And he is 31 years old. So you really don't want to be throwing a long-term contract at this guy.
A little Tom Brady-ish. Okay, go ahead.
Trevor Story from Colorado, 28 years old. I like this guy. 4.2 WAR, 251 batting average, 24 home runs, and an 801 OPS.
Okay.
And those three guys I've mentioned so far are all right-handed, by the way. And then let's go to Corey Seeger, Kyle's little brother, 27 years old, bats left-handed. He's got a 3.7 WAR, 306 batting average, 16 home runs, and a 915 OPS. However, the problem with Corey is he has been injured 3 of the last 4 years, including this year.
Yeah, that's not kind of what we're looking for, Kev.
I totally agree with you, and I think he would be.
I don't see him coming in to replace his brother.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would go well in the family.
No.
Then let's go to Javier Baez, 28 years old, right-handed hitter, 4.5 WAR, 265 batting average, 31 home runs, and an 813 OPS. Gotcha. I like this guy a lot.
Okay.
And last but not least, Carlos Correa, 27 years old, from the Houston Astros. He had a 7.2 WAR, 279 batting average, 26 home runs, and an 850 OPS. These guys are all superstars. And I would like to have any of these players on our team. They would look really good in the Mariners uniform. So
if I had to hold your feet to the fire and you guys play GM for the day, who would you take?
Well, it depends.
No, it not depends. You got to do it.
If I had the money to spend and I could be not worry about the term of the contract, you're taking Carlos Correa all day long, in my opinion. He's just been an absolute terror since he's come up. He's been a terror against the Mariners. We know the guy extremely well. And every time he comes to bat, I'm like, oh, crap. I don't like this guy. But right. I would really like him in a Mariners uniform.
Okay.
Although I really like the two that aren't getting a lot of attention, and that's Trevor Story and Javier Baez. And I think either one of those two, because of their age and the fact that they're superstars at this age, I think they would fit in the process that the Mariners trying to build.
Kevin, let me ask you a real cool question, especially about Story. Mm-hmm. If we take Story out of Colorado, do you think he'll be successful? That is a hitter's ballpark in the thin air up there. It makes the ball travel faster. Now he's coming to the marine layer. Again.
Well, and be honest with you, I mean, he's got a 251 batting average, which isn't the greatest. He's got 24 home runs. And so I don't know that answer, but he seems to hit just well, just as good as in other ballparks as he does in Colorado. So.
All right, Kevin. Well, let's wrap a bow on this and tell everybody that if you come back next week, we're going to talk about the pitching prospects out there.
Yep.
That way you guys are informed not just of the hitters, but also the pitching prospects. Kevin, it's been a pleasure, sir. Do you have any other final words?
I do. I wanted to interrupt you real quick. I would like to know your guys' opinion. We did have somebody comment that about Eduardo Escobar. I can never say that. Eduardo Escobar. The problem I have with him is he's pretty similar to Kyle Seeger. He's 1 year younger, I think, than Kyle. So I don't know if he would be what I was looking for. I would like to know your guys' opinion of who to target in a possible trade scenario.
Ooh.
Somebody,
well, trades are in a couple weeks, but we'd love to see those trade scenarios come in. Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure this out because there are so many players that I would like to have.
Right.
However, what do we have to give up to get them? And so these are just the free agents. We'd like your opinion on the free agents. Tell us what you think, but also let us know what you're thinking on possible trade chips.
Well, Kevin, we need to tell everybody to buckle up because this is going to be one heck of an off season.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we know a little bit more after December 1st when the player's contract gets resolved. So we'll know a little bit more at that point. So
hopefully no lockout. That's
hopefully no lockout.
Yeah,
because then I will be really bummed, because in the background behind me is one of my favorite places in the United States, and that is Peoria Sports Complex down in Peoria, Arizona. And I love going down there and chillaxing in the sun.
Getting your sun to worship on. All right, Kevin. Everybody, you guys have a great weekend. C-Fan Sports will see you here next week.
Go Mariners.
Go Mariners.